fantastic. I've always wanted to catch an anaconda. I'm a vegetarian, promise.
This is a big one, a big femur.
To come face to face with giant creatures, I travelled 6 times around the world.
It is coming so close. And this is a wild bear.
To show just how big the giants are, you need something for scale. And that something is me. Some lizards can grow to be giants. But this little fella isn't one of them. Brilliant. If you stand still in the Australian outback, lizards can think you're a tree. This is a black-headed monitor, and they've got sharp teeth, so you've got to be really careful. But catching snakes and lizards, scorpions and spiders has always been a forte of mine, and I've been doing it since I was a boy. I've always been able to cope with fast-moving reptiles. This is a Moorish gecko. But as you can see, I've never been good at sport. But I could catch the fastest snake in Europe. This is a whip snake on Corsica over 20 years ago. My parents hoped my obsession with reptiles was a passing phase. As you can see, I never did grow out of it. In fact, I made wild creatures my career, becoming a producer of wildlife films. But if you want to make films about giants, you need something for scale, and that something is me. Of course, this little black-headed monitor isn't a giant, but even miniature dragons are lethal hunters. The prey, a skink. Monitor lizards are absolutely ferocious. They'll eat anything they can overpower. This is a little one. Just imagine what a giant could do. Barrow Island in northwest Australia. Giant dragons live here. As well as spectacular beaches, their island home has plains of prickly spinifex plants studded with red termite mounds. Wildlife and industry coexist in harmony here. This Class A nature reserve is also Australia's second largest oil field.
The great thing about reptile watching is you don't have to get up at the crack of dawn. I've even had time for breakfast. Birds and mammals disappear into cover as soon as it gets hot, but reptiles are cold-blooded and they need the sun to warm up. The brilliant thing about watching reptiles on Barrow is you have to spend the day on the beach.
I've come to see Australia's largest, most dangerous monitor lizard, the perentie. The great reptiles patrol the beaches in autumn because in the sand there's eggs and babies for them to eat. Oh, brilliant. These are flatback turtles. They're uniquely Australian, just like Dame Edna Everage in the outback. They don't breed anywhere else. They've been incubated by the sun for 60 days and now they're hatching. Most of them hatch at night when it's safer and cooler. But these are the cutest babies, and I'd hate to see these snapped up by seagulls. I find it amazing that in 30 years or so, some of these little hatchlings will come back to this same beach and make tracks as huge as these. I shouldn't really interfere, but most of these baby turtles wouldn't have even made it to the sea. They still have sharks and octopus to avoid, so they need all the help they can get. Crikey! This is what I've been waiting for. I need to get to it before it leaves the beach. What a beautiful creature. The perentie, certainly in the top 5 giant lizards in the world. See the tongue coming out? That's what it uses to smell the air, and it smells in the sand when it's looking for turtles and eggs. The tail's the first form of defence. They use the tail. God, that hurt. It whips with that. It's even been known to break the front legs of a dog, but the real danger comes from the head end, of course. Oh. Once you get the tail, the neck is so long and flexible, I've got to go right close to the skull, as it will turn round and bite me, and it certainly has got a mouthful of teeth. Oh. Got it. Now you've got to watch the claws. They're like grappling irons. This really is a giant lizard. It's about 2 metres, 6 feet, as big as I am. They don't get much bigger than this. 2.5 metres is the record. But that is such a beautiful animal. You can see where it's shedding its skin. It's not ill. You can see the beautiful new skin and markings underneath. And that mouth, the teeth in that mouth, there's a row of really sharp teeth hidden in those gums there. These really are top predators. Their teeth are sharper than sharks, and that's what they use to grab onto their prey. So I'll let him go now. Go on, fella. Perenties are found on the mainland too, where they can show a remarkable turn of speed. Like snakes, monitors don't chew their prey, they just swallow it whole. The biggest monitors of all are found in Southeast Asia. One of them is never far from water. That's why it's called the water monitor. These reptiles are usually found in warm tropical waters, but my friend and I are far from those. We're at a pool party near Bristol, England. This is Sally the water monitor. She's grown up with people since she was a baby, and she loves going for a swim. In the wild, water monitors have been seen far out to sea, and they use their marvellous swimming ability to colonise even the tiniest of islands in Southeast Asia. To see water monitors in the wild, I travelled to Malaysia. This time, these really are warm tropical waters. I'm on magical Tioman Island, where my sporting skills aren't much improved from when I was 5. Some things never change. I never did learn how to hit a golf ball. No, I'm joking. I can hit one really, but I'm not very good at the game.
4.
I haven't come here to play golf. Water monitors live on the edge of the course. This is what I've always been really good at, getting close to wild creatures. When I was small, I never could have imagined that I'd still be doing it when I'm 38 3/4. Of course, these lizards aren't tame like my one at home, and I've got to be quite careful. They've got tails that they use as a whip like the perentie, and if I get too close, I could get lashed. I hope these two don't stop fight. Oh, crikey. They use their tail as a defensive mechanism. They don't lose their tails like other lizards. They swim with them and use them to defend themselves from predators. Now I've experienced the power of their tails, I can really appreciate why this looks so effortless. This river is full of lizard food. The monitors can dive for crabs or fish or mollusks, staying underwater for up to an hour. These particular lizards grow extra large because they get extra food from the village. There's leftovers from restaurants, rats, even the odd cat. These ladies making brushes out of palm leaves take no notice of dragons looking for scraps. Water monitors can grow to be absolutely gigantic. They can grow to be 2.5 metres long, that's 8 feet, and weigh 40 kilograms, which is half as much as I do. The extraordinary thing is there's a lizard that grows even longer, and it lives high up in the trees. What an absolutely stupendous view. Papua New Guinea and Irian Jaya are home to the longest lizards in the world. They're crocodile monitors, and they're rumoured to grow to 6 metres, 20 feet. I'm 4 times that height above the ground. They're reptiles that are nearly all tail. They use their tail for balance and climbing. They live high in the forest canopy. To be brutally honest, I haven't got a snowball's chance in hell of coming up here and finding a crocodile monitor. Their habits are still mysterious, but this is absolutely brilliant fun, particularly when you go down. Okay. Little is known about the crocodile monitor, apart from the fact it will eat eggs. A Nicobar pigeon stands guard over hers. That's amazing, or should I say, egg-extraordinary. My next port of call is Indonesia. This giant archipelago is made up of 13,000 islands. Some of these are home to the world's largest lizards. The Dragon Islands have been designated a national park. To meet the dragons, I have to take a bumpy bus ride across the beautiful island of Sumbawa. From the port of Sape, it's a 20-hour boat trip to Rincha, one of the islands inhabited by giant monitors. We're nearly there, but it will soon get dark. The dragons are already asleep in burrows in the ground, but tonight I'll be too excited to sleep. Today, I'm going to meet the most famous lizards in the world. It's hard to believe they weren't even known to science until 1912.
Thanks, Harris. See you in a few hours.
Dragons could be lurking anywhere here. They're awesome predators, and that's not an exaggeration. The great lizards have even been known to attack and eat people.
Komodo dragons aren't very fast. They rely on their stealth and power to ambush prey animals like this water buffalo. This is the sort of place the dragons will come to, where animals come to drink. They'll wait in the bushes, erupt out, great big razor-sharp teeth. They'll give a slashing bite to the neck or the back legs of the animal. If they can, they'll bring the animal down and maybe disembowel it with one shake of the head. But otherwise, they've got bits of meat in their teeth from their last meal. Lots of toxic bacteria. If they bite the animal, within a week the animal will die of blood poisoning, and then the dragon will follow, or maybe other dragons will get a really big feast.
The giant lizards aren't just found in the forest, they're on the savannah too. The wind carries the smell of rotting flesh. Somewhere nearby there's a corpse.
This is an extraordinary sight. For a reptile fan like me, this is unbelievable. There's 7 Komodos. They're on a water buffalo carcass. A buffalo's the largest prey item that they can actually eat. Nothing will be wasted. They'll eat great swathes of hide, the horns, the hooves. They'll eat the whole lot. Catching prey like this is why Komodo dragons have become giants. On an island, the bigger you can get, the bigger prey that you can bring down, the better it is. They may only feed like this once every 2 months. When they do, they make the most of it. They eat as much as they can, bulk down the food. They can take 80% of their body weight in flesh, and then they won't need to eat again for a couple of months or so. I'm not being reckless. I'm not in any danger. The Komodos are concentrating on their feast, but I wouldn't want to get that much closer. That is absolutely gross. There's one there that went right inside the carcass, and there was all maggots crawling on the side of its mouth. Oh, dear me.
I can see why Komodo dragons have a poisonous bite. You're close enough.
Go on, go to your feast. What are you doing? Why haven't you got anything? Go on. Go on. There you go. Come on. There you go. It's 10 o'clock now, and it's getting too hot even for reptiles. There's another place where I can get close to even bigger dragons.
I'd travelled through the night to another island, Komodo.
Morning. Morning. Great. Thanks very much.
This is the place where the dragons were first discovered, so they take the island's name. Komodo has a village, so some of the dragons are used to being around people. I hope to get really close to the largest of these.
I've helped film Komodo dragons before. They still get the hairs on the back of your neck. This really is the greatest of lizards. Look at this body. You couldn't do this with a tiger or a lion. These are top predators. I wouldn't even do this with a dog at home. If a dog was feeding, it could turn around and bite you. There's another one coming in here. Look at this. There's a smaller one. This is probably a female. She's a bit more nervous than the big one. See the great long yellow tongue? That's one of their main, that's one of their main senses. Flickers out all the time. They've got a chemical sensor in the roof of the mouth. And they can actually, this one's doing it all the time. They can actually smell carrion for up to 4 kilometres. That's nearly 3 miles away. And they do it by sensing the chemicals in the air, goes to its organ in the top of the mouth, and if the scent is stronger on the left-hand side of the tongue, they've got a forked tongue, then they head for the left. Look at that, this is absolutely extraordinary. It's trying to tear the carcass, just like a crocodile. Way. Go back to feeding, fella. Go on, back you go. Their vision's pretty good. He's beginning to think I'm another Komodo dragon competing with him at the carcass. But I'm not, I'm a vegetarian, I promise. And what we found last time was if they dragged the food into the shade so we couldn't film them, we just gently, come on, gently, come on, pull them back into the sunlight, and then they carry on feeding. You'd never be able to do this to any other large predator anywhere. No people have ever set eyes on a living dinosaur, but this must be the next best thing. Komodo dragons are magnificent and rare. There's only 5,000 in this remote corner of the earth. I'm so privileged to come to an island kingdom that's ruled by giants.